What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and today I will be showing you guys how to nearly double your FPS. If you do happen to enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button. It really means the world to me. If you have some tips that are able to increase FPS, please put them down in the comments down below. It really helps everyone out, so please, if you do have anything, put it down below. Let's get right into the first tip. Alright, let's get right into the settings. First of all, we should be going all the way down and go to your rendering mode. Now, I use performance mode because I have a lower end CPU, meaning the Ryzen 5 2600. I also have a lower end motherboard, which means I can't have my RAM at its fastest speed, and I can't have everything running at its fastest and its best performance, meaning I need performance mode because that's going to help me lower input delay and increase my FPS. I also can't run DX12 for some reason, but DX12 is one of the better rendering modes. If not, performance mode has the least amount of input delay, but sometimes DirectX 11 is the best for some people. It varies for everyone's computer. Also, some people just like a certain input delay better than the other, and it may be higher than others, but I would try them all out if you would like. And also with performance mode, I would try low and high meshes, so you can try every single one out. And I really think that'll be beneficial because it's not only it might increase your FPS, it might lower or increase your input delay, but it also you're able to choose whichever one feels the best. Next, I would turn off show FPS. Well, I would turn it on for when you're testing stuff like this, but when you're just in game, I would turn off FPS. I feel like it takes my mind away from the game, so I would turn off FPS just because. But that's not really a part of the video. That's just me saying something mental that I like to talk about. I already talked about meshes. Sorry guys, braces. But anyways, turn these two reminders off. These are completely pointless. And this auto download high resolution textures, I would turn this off. It adds a lot of how do I say this? It's gonna add a lot of unnecessary files to your computer that you don't really need, and also it's not gonna really impact your game's look in a large amount. It's gonna be minuscule, so you won't really notice it. So I think it's very beneficial to turn that off. I have my view distance on near and my textures on low. I usually have everything on low. If you want to have the best FPS, I would turn it on low. I would turn actually this to high though, because it actually gets my CPU, it starts to make my CPU work, and it makes me have lower input delay and also more frames. So I would turn this to high rather than have it on all the way on low. View distance you can keep on medium near. The only problem is when you have it on epic or far or medium, you see more, which means your graphics card has to render in more, which means your FPS is going to lower. That's just a fact. This is one I get asked a lot, is brightness, color blind, and user interface contrast. I keep it completely normal. This season is not bright, nor is it very dark. Sometimes maybe I put it to 110, maybe I put it to 90, depending on the monitor settings. It really all just comes down to the monitor this season. If you have a very dark monitor, I would keep it as dark, or I would keep it as a little bit brighter than usual, like 110. If it's a normal monitor, 100 is fine. If it's a little bit bright, put it down to 90, and you should be good. Colorblind, don't change it at all. It doesn't. You usually turn on colorblind for the storm. This season, you don't really have to worry about that, so I would not turn it on. When it comes to 3D resolution now, 3D resolution is a fun one. 100% will look the best. Hands down. I have mine on 50 to 55, which looks pretty bad. But it doesn't look bad enough to the point where I can't hit shots and I can't hit edits. So I still use it so I get the lowest amount of input delay possible. And it doesn't look terrible. I mean, it's not bad, but it's definitely not good. So it really just comes down to, if you have a decent PC, keep this at 70 to 60. So, or even 75 is perfectly fine. But for me, having a lower end PC, I need to have it on 55 because I really want low input delay, or the low input delay that everyone usually has. Now, moving on to recording replays. Replays, unless you are scrimming or you are trying to look back at arena games, turn them off. They're so useless in a lot of ways. They add so much. They also add a lot of files onto your computer that are super useless and don't need to be used ever. So I would turn them off. They don't really need to be used. Also, if you haven't, this is just to help you out with getting rid of some files. Leave this. Hold on one moment. Go into your career replays. So to open replay folder. You probably won't be able to see it, but you're going to get a page with all your replays. Delete every single one. Delete every single one. This will open up a lot of space because that is a lot of files for your computer. And it's a lot of files on Fortnite. Meaning you should get a little bit better FPS, maybe a little lower input delay, and it should help out in a lot of other ways, like freeing up space on your computer for some other stuff. Anyways, moving on. Moving on to skins and pickaxes. There are skins that will give you lower input delay. For example, the dummy skin. I'm just going to show you the skins that are the skins, pickaxes, everything that is the lowest input delay, because if I were to show you all the things that are every single skin, it would take a very, 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 very long time. For some reason, this is taking a very long time. Anyways, we have the dummy skin, the least input delay. We have the driver or the icebreaker. Both are very similar. And then I'm pretty sure the umbrella right here, having none of these on, this should give you the lowest amount of input delay when it comes to you being in game. Because this being such a normal glider with no animations essentially, it should be the best glider. Since this has basically no animations and a simple sound, it should give you the best. And with this having basically no animations at all, if any, and a simple color structure, this should also give you the best input delay and FPS. As I said, let's get on to maps. So whenever I want to go in free build, what you can do is just go into this portal right here. So I was just actually filming a prior video. That's why you might see some prior memory being used. But you delete all this stuff right here. Look, it has two. You start the game, and this should give you the least amount of input delay because there's the least amount of things needing to be loaded in besides these blue tiles that are the base things for Fortnite, so they're not really able to be rendered. And look, it feels like no input delay at all. So let's check my FPS straight up. Everything on Epic. This up here. I'm already on low measure, so I can't change that. Put me there. So let's turn a few things up. Make this looking the best. See how it looks the greatest, but it's probably gonna feel pretty crappy. So let's start the game. Let's see what my FPS is just looking into the sky. So with all the tweaks, we're gonna go to unlimited to help me. Looking in the sky, 400 to 500 FPS. Looking in the ground, 400 to 500 FPS. Let's turn all this down. Send this down to 55%. we look in the sky, we are getting a little bit more FPS, but as I said, I am recording right now. I would be seeing a lot more drastic changes, which I probably could maybe clip, I'm not sure. But actually, I'm getting 50 more FPS than I normally would, and it's a lot more stable than it was before. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you didn't happen to learn anything, please hit that like, subscribe, and that notification bell down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.